office.
Hi, may I speak to Tatiana Parker, please?
Yes, one moment. Senator May's office, this is Zach.
Hi, may I speak to Tatiana Parker, please?
Yeah, can I answer your phone?
Jem Polakin.
Okay, one second. TATIANA.
Hi, Miss Parker. How are you?
Hi, Jen. How are you?
Good. I just wanted to, I didn't hear from you. Did you get anything about a meeting? Remember I was talking to you that I wanted to have a meeting?
Yeah, you were talking about having a meeting, like to go over the other things, right?
No, remember when we last talked, I said to you, even if it's just to go over what, I wanted to rehab the meeting that you had so I could be there.
Right,
Yep.
Yep. And after we connected you with the Attorney General office, I was thinking about having another meeting. It would be kind of like, just on our side, it would put tension between Senator May's office and Earlville. To have them say, you know what, I know we had this meeting, but he wasn't there. Can we have it again? I think it would be more harmful than helpful.
Okay, but at the same,
I really do.
Okay, no, I could see your side because I'm open-minded to things, and it's not like I need everything to go my way. I'm not that kind of person, okay? But like, I don't agree, and here's the reason why. Okay, I contacted Miss May's office for you guys to help me. Okay, and right now I'm not saying you haven't helped. So I'm not saying, because I had said something similar like this to Corey, and like he was like, we're always transparent with you, and I understand that. I never, I don't want you to take it in a wrong way. That's why I'm saying this first, But like the meeting, like when I spoke to you, and you told me, you spoke to the senator and Zach and other people, you said it was for you were that I was going to have a meeting with Evan, okay? And I mean, you guys are here for me, So having that meeting that you guys had, just think about it from my perspective, right? I was supposed to have a meeting. They first canceled it. When I went to this town meeting the second time, I was supposed to have a meeting.
It's looking a little. I can appreciate that.
I was supposed to have a meeting 2 times. They canceled 2 times, right? Then when when you spoke to the senator, you guys were in agreement that I was supposed to have a meeting with Evan. Now Corey might have went and mishandled it or whatever the situation is.
But I want to clarify one thing on that note. Is that when I talked to Zach and Rachel, it was to say, can we be a part of this? Not saying, can Jim talk to these people? It was, hey, this is what we'd like to see happen. We want to have mediation because this constituent called us, and we'd like to have a meeting so we can get all of this out. We didn't talk about who in particular was going to be there, so I do want to make that point of differentiation.
Okay.
It was just so the senator was in the loop on what was going on.
Okay.
Now, and I really can appreciate the way you just frame that, I totally get it. I can't imagine if it was me on that end, because it looks funny. You know, you're supposed to have a meeting with the town on your own, then that got canceled. Then, to your knowledge, you're supposed to have a meeting with the senator's office, then that got canceled. I definitely get that. I can't speak for what happened with Earlville, but with us, it was strictly, I personally think it was a miscommunication. I always assumed that you were going to be there, and that's why I said that out of my mouth to you on the phone that Friday. I said, hey, you know, Corey's going to set up this meeting. He'll be reaching out. But he went ahead and had that meeting. So I don't think that was ill-intentioned. I think that was just a miscommunication on the office, but even still, to come back to Earlville and say, hey, we had a miscommunication, let's do the meeting over.
Yeah, I completely understand. I get what you're saying, but I just want to say one thing. See, like, when you had that thing with the senator, and I wasn't there, I'm just going off of what we were talking about, right? Like, you even assumed, like, I would be there. So that's the kind of conversation you had. Now, when it goes to Corey, the problem with Corey is I made it clear I do not want you guys to mediate on my behalf to him, number one, okay? I made that clear in a conversation with him. And in another conversation, like I told you, when he asked for my blessings, he told me all that was for was to contact them and let them know, because they were, you know how you guys were like incognito? To let them know that you're involved and you're going to take action. That's it. So this is where it gets into a problem for me, because here's what it is, right? I already feel, listen, when I contacted your office, all I contacted you to help me with was, he told me to F myself, and he had racist posts, and I thought he should resign as a mayor. Okay? That's it. All this other stuff, you know for a fact, I didn't ask you to get involved in that, and I wrote the letters myself to them, addressing it myself. Like, I was handling everything else. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even keeping anything from anybody, because I even handed them evidence of everything. It's not like I'm like trying to be dark and mysterious and I'm up forward with everything. But that's what I contacted you guys for. Now, they told me they were going to have a meeting with me at the meeting that Corey was at. And at that meeting, they already canceled one meeting in the past. Okay, so that was the second one that I'm referring to. Now, when that came up, Corey knew that thing was canceled. And to have Evan involved, I find it messed up. Like, I feel discriminated, right? People could look at it, everyone could have their own opinion on why he does it, but all I know is this: he has racist, discriminatory posts, okay? And they're not treating me they're treating me like a second class citizen. Period. It doesn't matter why. Is he racist? Is he sexist? Is it age? I don't care what it is. I know that he's discriminatory for a fact. That it's already been proven. Like, there's no question this guy has issues. Okay. And you guys, who got Evan involved? I'm not taking it. They didn't bring Evan, right? You guys asked Evan to get involved, Ms. Schwartz.
Yes, it was on behalf of our office. So,
okay.
Evan, I believe, is a town supervisor down that way.
Yep, in Hamilton.
Yeah, and I think Corey reached out because she knows the landscape of that area better. And at first, he just consulted with her. Like, he didn't tell her your name or, it was just about the situation.
Yep.
And then as stuff started to unfold, we were like, okay, it was felt that she would be an asset in mediation.
Okay. And
I will say that I was under the assumption that you were going to be present.
Yes. And with Evan, I mean, being there for someone who's a town official who's, let's say, above Bill in a sense. I'm not saying she could tell Bill how to govern. You can't tell Bill how to govern. May can't. I got it. But these are people that are in higher ranking. Like, he's in a village. She's in a town. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay? So, like, these are, like, kind of like superiors or, at the very least, equals of Bill. Okay? And to me, when you guys got together, I'm sorry, it's just how it was treated. This is how I feel, right? It wasn't it was almost like you were doing an intervention for Bill. Like, everyone's going to him trying to convince him, listen, you're acting, you're not acting properly, okay? And you need to do something, okay? It's not more like I'm there and the problems are coming up so I could explain them. Now, to tell me, oh, you could bring up this, but you can't bring up that, because you could bring up this, I have no emotion. Okay, I never snapped, I never cursed at anybody, I always keep my composure, and no matter if I'm in a town setting, private setting, I'm always the same. It doesn't matter to me. The person that has emotion, that can't control themselves, is Bill. And that's why I find it wrong to not have me there. Is like almost saying, listen, we have to talk to him so he doesn't continue doing this stupid stuff, where I'm telling you my complaint is he shouldn't even be able to continue doing this stupid stuff, because what he did is already a violation. When you bring up the other things that I'm talking about, not getting even into dog stuff and stuff like that, they themselves admit, look how stupid this is. You're not going to go back and you're going to use the excuse of saying we don't have to follow the ordinances, but at the same time you're going to give a letter following the ordinance saying that if the dog is loose again, then you're going to give a ticket. That in itself is an improper discriminatory act. It's an oxymoron. How could you say, I'm not going to go back and give a violation, but for the same exact violation, you're going to give a warning and ignore it? Even though I've given evidence of them saying they already gave them a ticket, they have a court date, all these lies that I've already proved. It's almost like that meeting was done. This is how I feel right now. I'm being honest with you. Like, I feel like it was done as more of an intervention for Bill, for him to realize that, like, he's over the line and he has to do something. And I feel that's why he even wrote the 2-sentence apology. You know what I'm saying? And even did anything. They did the very least that they could possibly do, which, listen, I could argue that stuff myself. When I contacted you guys, my main thing was his discriminatory behavior and how he told me to go F myself. And I didn't know what your scope was 100%, but what my belief was that your scope was to document everything, see if I'm telling the truth, and report it to, let's say, the Attorney General's office.
But that's the thing. I think your expectations of what we could do were off. So that's why I said, yes, of course, we got all that documentation about the discriminatory post. Sure. And we did pass that along to the Attorney General so they can make that decision if there's enough there that they were going to prosecute. Okay. However, I was looking at the impact of that discrimination on your family, and that was the unenforced dog rule. Sure. And at that point, I said, hey, this is what we can do. We can try to go ahead and get movement on this, but that's all we can do.
Yeah, and that means I was right on my scope. I thought that when it came to the discrimination stuff, that it should be reported to the Attorney General's office. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's exactly what we did.
Correct. But when I spoke to John Moss, remember you gave me his number and stuff? And he told me, he goes, listen, he goes, they told me about it. He goes, when it first happened, he goes, I wasn't really aware that I was supposed to contact Corey. And he goes, since then I never heard from him until you called me today. So my thing was, like, when I was sending you guys all that stuff, I thought it was being forwarded to the General Attorney's office. You know what I'm saying? So I was, like, a little disappointed there. And that he wasn't, like, kept up to date, because a whole month almost has passed since the last meeting. And I'm just at the process of just sending the stuff to John now because he doesn't have anything. He didn't even talk to Corey about this. He said he spoke to him about other stuff, but nothing to do with me, but to this. So I was disappointed there when it came to that. Now, I know, Ms. Parker, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm saying to you, I appreciate you, like, thinking of my family with the dog stuff, but if you're going to handle that, it would only be appropriate that I was there. It makes no sense to me that Corey would do that. Like, I'm so disappointed in that. Like, and then, like, if we have a re-meeting again, there should be another meeting. Because let's say what you gave to the Attorney General, you did. And I'm going to handle it with John from this point on. That's fine. But you guys got involved in the dog thing. And when it came to the dog thing, it's not appropriate that they don't go back and do all the violations. Because when you're telling a citizen to record everything, document everything, give it to me, keep me in touch, give it to me, and you're not going to follow the ordinance, that's harassment to me. Why would you tell me as a town, a village, Willa Excel said it, Carol Lawrence, Matt Bates, they all say, okay, to me, to record it, document it, call me, let me know, and then you do nothing with it. No one has that right to tell me to do something in my life and then do nothing about it.
I can agree, but at the same time, that's out of the scope of our office.
But you had a meeting on it, though.
We could meet with him, again, with you, and they can tell us straight to our face, we're not doing it. We literally can't do anything. So the most powerful card you have in your pocket right now is that contact information for John.
I know, and I'm going to contact him. It's not.
Should go into there.
Everything is now. It's so much stuff. Like, I don't want to bombard him, right? So I sent him some emails just on the first thing that was supposed to be reported to him, so he understands where we're at first. You know what I'm saying? And then there's other things that me and you didn't go over that you don't know about. Like, I've had the sheriff's department show the same kind of discriminatory behavior, the state police, the attorney general, the district attorney for Madison County, all of them. I have evidence of all of it. It's not like I don't. You know what I'm saying? So, like, even reporting it, they'll tell you, we're not going to look at it, and that's the end of it. Like, it doesn't matter. So I told John about this already. You know, one by one, I don't want to bombard him because it's just too much. He's going to not know what goes where. You know what I'm saying? But my only thing with you guys is that meeting. Like, I feel that I should have been there. I didn't get a chance to talk to Evan.
I agree.
And it shouldn't matter what tension would it put. Like that. If politics is like that, so if you guys asked to have a meeting because I wasn't there, and bring up that they also had 2 times on 2 separate occasions canceled a meeting with me for me to be there, to have one with me there is going to cause tension. That makes
because you have to understand where the push is coming from. That push to have the meeting that you were originally, I thought you were supposed to be at, did come from the side of our office. Okay. Now, if our office turns around and does that again, you can imagine how awkward that would look. However, if you wrote to the town and copied me and Corey and said, hey, I understand you had a meeting. That's great. However, you know, there was miscommunication. I'd like to be there and come from your end to do that. That's something different. But for it to be another directive coming from our office is misplaced and it's awkward. Even though I can agree that I assumed that you were going to be there. That's what mediation is, right? It's 2 parties being present with a nonpartisan person there.
Yep, and you know what? I agree with you 100%. The only problem that I have is for me to say to you, like 100%, like I agree with you, like based on that premise. The thing is this: if it was the miscommunication came from you guys, number 1, right? Yeah. Number 2, Corey took it upon himself, knowing, clearly asking me that no mediation. I didn't want any mediation, okay? And I didn't want, when he asked for any kind of blessing, it was only to contact them and let them know that you guys are involved so you're no longer incognito, seeing if that would maybe push them, because I'm already writing letters back and forth. If that wasn't there, I'd be like, you're right, you know what, let me do that. But now I got to pay and go with all the stuff that I got to do anyway, and it's a lot more than you even know. And I'm not saying you guys aren't busy. I'm just saying, like, with all the stuff that I have, now to go to ask them for a meeting. Hello? Yeah, hello?
I think you hit a dead spot.
Oh, can you hear me? I'm on my cell phone. Sorry.
Well, I heard a little bit.
Okay. I said, hello? Yeah, can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. What I was saying is, you know, for Corey, you know, like when Corey did that.
Are you pacing?
Am I pacing? Hello? No. I'm sitting in a spot in my house. Yes. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Like, you begin talking, and I can hear you, and then it goes out. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. I hear you fine.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I just moved now. Before I was sitting still, but I just moved now.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
I can hear you good now.
Okay.
I can hear you well now.
So that's what I was saying, because like Corey knew like how I want to be at the meeting. Like me and him spoke in the past. Like if there's any meeting, if anything, that was the exact reason why I gave it to him. I said let me see if they're gonna give me a meeting, because this was at the time where they were supposed to do it, you know. And I said, let them see, because if they don't honor it, I don't want you mediating anything with them. I'd rather just write them letters and go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Because like you just said, you're going to have to ask them again, and you think it's going to cause tension and this and that. But I didn't cause any of that. Like, I didn't do anything. Like I told you, I said the opposite. Like, I have no idea why Corey set it up like that. Did you guys meet in person, or was it like a phone conversation? Was it like a physical meeting? The meeting that Corey had with them.
I believe it was physical. I'm not sure. I wasn't there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and like if you're gonna bring Evan into it, who represents another town, listen, they barely let me speak. I want to be able to be heard from a town supervisor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I look up.
I do.
You know, and now you have another town supervisor, because Corey's not going to explain it like how I am. And, you know, I have another town supervisor who could be just thinking, it's like this, it's like that. It's going to be the picture that Bill paints to a town supervisor, and I don't get to say my piece. Like, that's not fair at all. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. Because no one could explain like how I can, because I'm going through it. And that's what I find a mistake with Corey. And, like, I think another meeting should be done just based on this. You don't have to say another meeting should be done because Jem wasn't there and we had a miscommunication, like, as with Rachel May or whatever the thing is. First of all, that was a first issue, okay? And there's a lot of things that were not addressed at that meeting. They addressed the dog thing, but they're not addressing it going backwards, even just to discuss that. Like, at the very least, okay? And to him to explain the apology for why it went, just to stick on those two subjects, because they're so, don't want to talk about something. If they're the ones that want to cancel, that's one thing. But I think, at least, the very least, Corey should make an effort, because Corey knows. I've talked to Corey. Corey knows for sure that I did not want that to happen like that. It makes no. You know what bothers me? I'll tell you this. Corey said that he would get back to me. Corey didn't even call me and say we're going to have a meeting, okay? Right? If Corey said we're going to have a meeting, right? And you know what, Jem? I don't want you there because it might cause tension. I want to represent you.
That'd be something totally different, but you didn't. Yeah.
Correct. And you know what? If he said to me, you know what? Do you have some questions that you want me to make sure I try to get the answer to? This, that. But he didn't. And then he had the meeting behind.
I got you because I didn't even know the meeting was happening.
And that. So, yeah, and that's not right. That's not right, because I contacted Rachel May.
I don't think it was intentional, but I do understand the intentional or not.
Yeah, and I know you don't live in Madison County, but I also understand. Look how understanding I am. I know that Corey he's generations deep in farming. He lives in Madison County. He told me himself. I saw his farm thing or whatever. I wanted to go there to get strawberries anyway and stuff, but I know that he was there, and this place, I don't know, it's an odd county. Everyone knows everybody, okay? And when I first met Corey, he told me himself, he told me before this meeting was even thought of, he said, I know people that are in Bill's ear. You want me to do a mediation? And that's what pisses me off, because I said no. I don't want you to do a mediation. I'm not here to help Bill's life out and give him an intervention and teach him how to be a human being. This guy is like 60-something years old. He shouldn't even be in this office, period. He shouldn't. Now, I understand you don't have the power to kick him out, but I understand that you do have the power to report it to the right place, which even that, I mean, when I talked to John Moss, he had no clue what's going on. He just heard a little bit from Zach. That's it. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, put yourself in my place. That's why I said, like, I know I gave you some, I gave you a couple of days, and you don't work for me, so I'm not saying you have to answer me in 24 hours or something, but I gave you a few days, but I don't want it to be left alone. The General Attorney's Office is one aspect of it, but I do want you guys to request a meeting. I don't see, if it causes tension, I mean, sometimes I could explain myself better in an email. People take it for different reasons. They're like, you're emailing it so you can document it, or you're recording it. It's not that. I have to write it. Sometimes there's too much stuff that I see that I don't want to sit there explaining, because I want to show it to the person. It's like a difference between a conversation and reading a book. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. Yeah. It's not the same feeling. And sometimes you have to refer to things to look at it and see the person's perspective. It's not like when I say I'm going to send an email, it's like a threat, or I'm trying to you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to show what I'm saying. That's it. If people take it like that, that's something on them. I have nothing to hide in my life. Whatever, So I would like you guys, I don't know if you want to talk to Corey, talk to Zach, whoever you have to talk to, but I do want a meeting, because I should have been there, and I don't like how it was represented to Ms. SWHARTZ at all, because from what Corey explained, it wasn't explained properly. I would like a chance to speak with her.
And let me just so I'm clear, the purpose of this meeting would be to discuss what?
The purpose of this meeting would be almost like whatever they were willing to discuss in the first meeting, how Corey explained to me, I'll discuss the same topic. That's it. I want to be able to, all of us sit down, and I want Mrs. SWHARTZ to be able to see my reactions, Bill's reactions to issues that are going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to drill anybody, and I'm not going to make anything up. Anything I say is absolutely true. And if Bill is, like, for example, if Bill, let's say, is posting something, right? And he writes something belligerent, like those Muslim posts or about women or whatever the hell he writes, because he says so much crap, okay? If he says that, I want him, what sense does it make? You post it so anyone on earth could see it, but if I bring it up in front of Ms. SWHARTZ, you don't want to talk about it. Don't. But let me get my say. I'm not saying people have to sit there and listen to me for 5 hours, but damn, let me get if that meeting was a half hour, let me get a couple minutes out there to speak to this lady to see where she stands. Because I'm not being represented properly. No one can represent me like myself. You know what I'm saying? And I want her to hear, because because from what Corey explained to me at that meeting, she was there because she had past concerns and knows the concerns about Earlville and what goes on here. She's from Earlville, okay? She has a business in Earlville. She's from Earlville. She knows what's going on. So why wouldn't I get to speak to this lady? So she really knows what's going on. She might not really have the full aspect, because Corey's not going to jump in and cut Bill off or
right.
You know what I'm saying?
But I'm a person that and this may not be everybody. I have a finite amount of energy, right? And in my mind, the energy that you're putting forward with this is linked to your appall with it, as well as the little things like your daughter being scared, right? So my thing is, I would be putting my energy where the impact would be. Do you think that having this meeting will have an impact?
Yes. Absolutely, because let me tell you something. The whole time I was talking to you, I didn't bring up my daughter, and I didn't bring up me being appalled about anything. I'm sticking to the facts. When I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you like I'm talking to my friend. I'm not talking to you like I'm talking to some government official or something like that. I'm not, because our conversation is different. But if you hear me at a meeting setting and if you hear me at a different setting, I know what to talk about. I'm not, like I said, I'm not the one that gets emotional.
It's not about you, honey.
No, I know it's not, but it's about what I say.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. So if we happen to redo this meeting, what you're saying could completely fall upon deaf ears. It's like you have a concern that your concerns weren't being advocated in that room.
Mm-hmm.
You could turn around and have that meeting, and you could be there and say everything, and something still doesn't happen.
That's fine. But that's not in my control. At least I made my effort and tried to make an impact. There's a new person there. There's Ms. Schwartz is there. They're telling me that she's the head of Hamilton supervisor and all that. Let's see if it has an impact. But I'm not going to have any impact if I don't get to say anything and not be at a meeting.
True. It's a possibility versus a certainty, right?
Correct. At the very least. It is, and that's how I feel. That's why I want to have it, you know?
Okay. So, all right, so Zach is not in the office, and just so you're aware, many of us were gone midday Wednesday. We just got back Monday.
Okay.
There was an extended holiday, so don't think people were in the office and just weren't.
No, I don't. I never
okay, so I need to gather. I need to figure out how we're going to do this.
Okay.
So I need you to give me a couple of days.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah, let me think this through and talk to the team.
Mm-hmm.
And get the team on one page, because you do bring up very valid points about, being there to speak your own truth, and then even, getting the call before the meeting, ask if there's any questions. You have a lot of points with that, so let me see what I can do.
Okay.
I can't guarantee you anything.
Yep.
Okay? But I'm just going to at least let everyone know where the issue really lies with this, and see what we can do.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
All righty.
Yep. I appreciate it.
Today's Tuesday. Hold on. Look at this calendar. All right. You should hear from me by Thursday.
Okay. That sounds good.
Okay. And if I can't pull everybody together by then, I'll give you a call and let you know.
Okay. I appreciate it, Ms. Parker. Thank you.
You're welcome, my dear.
Yep. Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.